I recently came across a clip on Dan John's YouTube channel about suitcase carries. A listener to his podcast wrote in a question. Here's what he had to say.
I went online and read that suitcase carries have no value. They only work one muscle. So should I stop doing them? Okay, this is too why I'm frustrated, but first point, we have been in this bodybuilding metaphor for all strength training. It's this Frankenstein's monster idea that, you know, this is arm day, this is leg day. You know, when I Olympic lift, it's a trap exercise. When I clean and jerk, it's a rhomboid exercise. When I throw the discus, it's a pec exercise, says every terrible thrower of all time.
Now, I just wanted to chime in on this because for much of my lifting career, I will admit weighted carries just weren't something I did all that often. And it's something I've only really started to introduce into my training somewhat recently. But because I've noticed such a big effect, I wanted to add in my 2 cents here. Since I've started adding in weighted carries, I've noticed the improvement in one area of my life specifically, and that is carrying around my baby in her car seat. Now, just to be clear, this was never something that I found difficult. It's not super heavy, but it is big. It's a little clunky, and you kind of have to hold it away from your body a little bit unless you just want it bumping into your hip, and that's going to be uncomfortable for the baby. So it was never difficult, but it was still like heavy enough to where it just felt a little awkward. And ever since I started adding in weighted carries, farmers carries, suitcase carries, waiters carries, sometimes a mix of these different carries, I've noticed that carrying around my daughter in her car seat has gone from like totally doable to like, wow, this is significantly easier than it was just a few months before. And that's even more surprising because with every week that passes, she's getting heavier. So theoretically, I mean, maybe not even theoretically, just in practicality, it should be getting harder. But as I've started adding these weighted carries into my workouts, I've noticed that carrying her around in the car seat has actually gotten easier. So if you've never experimented or done any sort of weighted carries in your workout, I would highly recommend adding them into your training. It's done wonders for me. I really enjoyed them. And if you ever plan on having a kid and you find that doing suitcase carries is difficult, get ready. Get prepared because you're going to be doing a lot of them when you're carrying around your baby in a car seat, and doing a weighted carry like a suitcase carry is going to pay off in huge dividends. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think and drop a comment below if you have any questions.